topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good morning, Tennessee. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show, where we bring you the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. I love doing Medicare shows. This one is for our Tennessee market. It is dear to my heart, and we were so lucky to find one of the top agents in Tennessee with Randy Hall. Listen to the name of his company, Mr. Nice Guy Medicare, and we've been doing the show long enough. I totally agree. Good morning, Randy.
There I am. I see you. I see you guys. All right. Yeah. Good morning from Franklin, Tennessee. And to back up your point, you say I'm one of the best agents in Tennessee, which thank you. That's very humbling. I got this letter in the mail yesterday. It says I'm a top 3 broker in Franklin, Tennessee. So
wow.
This would be from Business Rate, telling me I'm not just a Medicare broker, but apparently I'm a top 3 insurance broker in Williamson County, which is where Franklin, Tennessee is. So it's not just you saying it, Steve. Apparently Business Rate agrees with you.
Well, I got to tell you, the emails we get about your show, people love your personality, first of all. They love how knowledgeable
Tell me more.
you are. So, I got to tell you that one of the things I want to accomplish with this show is how important it is to have a good agent. Because I know a lot of people see these national commercials, Randy, and they call the company up. And I'm telling you, listen, first of all, you're only going to get that company's information. Randy is an independent broker, and he represents a lot of companies. So you're going to get more than just one proposal, right?
Correct. I mean, I sell basically every Medicare Advantage plan that's available in Tennessee. And I sell 15 to 20 Medicare supplement companies that are available in Tennessee. And I don't know if people know this or not, but when it comes to Advantage, they all pay us the same. And when it comes to supplements, I don't even know what companies pay me. I just basically just try to find the best fit for each person. So that's where I'm coming from. So.
And Randy, you do health insurance also, just regular health insurance.
No, and I'll tell you why. So I tried to do that a few years ago, where I would sell. So I had, come across a lot of spouses who aren't Medicare age. So I would try to sell major medical health insurance to them. And what I found, Steve, is it's a lot less reliable than Medicare. So on Medicare, these companies, they don't try to get out of paying claims the same way these major medical people do. So I'm just going to give you ballpark numbers. So I had, let's say I had 600 Medicare clients back then, and I had 20 what you would call major medical clients. I had more complaints and problems with the 20 than I did with the 600. So I said, this is not worth it. So I found a good partner. So I do have a colleague who does what I do for major medical. So if you call me and you need help with your spouse or something, or you have a child doesn't know where to turn, I refer them to my colleague.
And we also had a question. Somebody wanted to know about long-term care. Do you get into that area?
I am familiar with long-term care, and once again, because I'm so, I don't say myopic, but I'm dedicated to Medicare. You ever hear jack of all trades, master of none?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
maybe I took it too far. I'm like, I know Medicare like the back of my hand, right? But when it comes, because I care, I mean, you can say whatever if I'm going to sell somebody something, I want to know it very well, and I want to stand behind it, which is why I got out of the major medical thing, because I couldn't stand behind it. If I'm telling people what a plan's going to do and how it's going to behave, and then these companies screw around, I'm not going to sell it. So back to long-term care, I know enough to be dangerous, but I'm not an expert. So once again, I have, speaking of the name of the show, if I don't know it well enough to stand behind it, I'd rather refer it to somebody who knows it extremely well. But if I have a client and they have questions, or they want me to interpret a long-term care policy of theirs or a relative, I can tell them what it means and what to expect. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I want to share this with our audience because it means a lot to me. Randy's show, we're on YouTube, and YouTube is one of the, I guess, media platforms that do not mind sharing the numbers of viewers. And I only bring this up because we do Medicare shows around the country. This is our Tennessee show. Randy is the first Medicare show to get, for one show, over 1,000 views. That is amazing.
I mean, thank you, viewers.
That's just YouTube. I mean, we're on so many other platforms, but boy, that number just stood out, and that means people are really enjoying your show. Again, Randy, the trouble I had with my first agent. Yeah. It was a nightmare. It's been so costly to me. If I would have had you in the beginning, I would have not had the financial penalties that I do. So tell people exactly what your company does, because I'm telling people, don't call direct to the company. Call an agent like Randy Hall if you're in the Tennessee area. Don't you have some other states too, Randy?
I don't. Nope.
Okay,
Steve, I'm sorry.
I'm
in Tennessee. I don't have any other states. I work with guys who sell in other states, but all that to say, the reason you want to work with somebody who's independent is they'll be unbiased. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You want somebody who's looking out for you, not looking out for them. So I've been getting bombarded. I'm 50 years old, Steve. I'm nowhere near Medicare age. And I was hoping somebody would call me while we're on the air here so I could show you the lies they say on the phone. But I in the last, basically since January 1st, when open enrollment started, I have been getting at least 5 to 10 calls a day offering me Medicare stuff. And because I'm an agent, I know what they're saying is basically lies, for lack of a more term. They call me, and the way that they approach it is absolutely illegal. If I were to call somebody and say the same stuff these companies are saying to me, I would get thrown in a jail cell. Well, figuratively speaking, they'd take my license away and I couldn't sell anymore. So these people who are calling you on the phone, if you're getting a lot of calls right now, you can change your Medicare Advantage plan one time from January 1st to April 1st. And this will be the last show we do before April. So I'm going to say it now. If you are not sure you have the best plan and you're in Tennessee, you can call me and I can see if you're on the best plan. And I'll make you this promise, folks. If you're already on the best plan, I'll tell you, they don't pay me enough to mess up your insurance. That is one of my key philosophies. If you already have the best thing, I'll tell you. But if you want to know for sure, call me up. The number 615-578-5174. Now, what happened to you, Steve? Not only did people not give you enough heads up in terms of when to enroll, but they also enrolled you in a plan that not all your doctors participated in. So
Right.
When you're dealing with an independent agent, what we're supposed to do is look up your drugs, your doctors, if you're going to go Advantage, and make sure they're all covered and make sure they're covered competitively. That maybe it's not number one. I mean, you may have a company or two or three that are real close, but if a company I know has a good reputation, I may say, you might want to look at that company over that company. That's the kind of local expertise you're looking for, is somebody who just doesn't read things on a sheet of paper. When you deal with somebody, usually on the phone, you're dealing with somebody probably not in your state, maybe not in your country. When you call me or somebody in your area, hopefully you're going to be dealing with somebody who's in your state and knows how these plans actually work. And last thing I'll say about that, if you have an agent, not only do we sign you up, but we're also like a customer service liaison after the enrollment. Like when I enroll somebody, it's not just, oh, I met you and you probably never see me or my team. I have a team, by the way, me or my team again. You'll hear from me every year, usually twice a year. So, and also if you need to call me, guess what? I call you back within 24 hours, unless I'm out of the country. I'll call you back. Me or somebody on my team will call you back and try to help you solve your problem. So I don't know how much time we're doing for times, but there was something I was watching one of your other agents. I believe he's in Florida. Anyway, he was talking about umbrella coverage. Does this ring a bell?
Yes.
Yes. So if you have
I think it was New York.
Oh, is it New York? Okay. Is this the guy who wrote the book? The guy I'm talking about, he wrote a book. Is that him? Steve, can you hear me?
What? Yes. I think that was New York.
Oh, okay. Well, so when you have a Medicare Advantage plan, there's, I guess you could say, gaps in there that you might want to fill with a hospital indemnity. We've never really spoken about that, but he is correct. Even so, say you have a plan. I'll just pick a company, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it's the best plan for you. Well, if you feel like you want to have extra coverage to cover a hospital copay, or if you got a cancer diagnosis, cancer is about one of the things that would be expensive and make you hit your out-of-pocket max. Well, you can buy a separate policy called a hospital indemnity that'll pay that, and it's a fraction of the cost on a monthly basis. That'll help fill in a lot of those gaps. So if you don't want to be surprised by high copays, you might want to call me about getting a hospital indemnity if you're in Tennessee.
We just got a text from a Nashville listener. It's got two questions.
Oh, okay.
He said, I just found your show. I am really enjoying this. I cannot believe I didn't know about the show. Thank you so much. I have two questions. One is, why are so many big companies pulling out of the markets? And my second question is, are big companies offering better policies than smaller companies?
Well, so I'll attack the first question first. So here in my area, we had a couple of companies pull out big plans. And the reason why they do that is they become unprofitable. So when a plan becomes unprofitable, what they tend to do is they'll decommission it first. We had a major company that starts with H, ends with A, decommission some plans nationwide here just this week. Steve may have that plan too. not the company, not the plan.
I do.
Yeah. So all I have to say is when you're looking for signs that a plan's not going to be here for long, the first thing you'll notice is they'll stop paying commissions to sell it. And then the second thing you'll see is the benefits will get a lot worse. So even if a plan is barely making it, if your plans, like the copays, go up severely, that's a sign you probably don't want to stay on that plan. So basically, to answer his question, when they become unprofitable, they'll scale them back, and if that doesn't work, then they'll pull them off the market. So what they want to do is focus on plans that are making them the most profit, that kind of thing, and have high star ratings typically. They want to favor plans that have high star ratings. So Medicare is a 5-star scale. And the higher it is on that 5-star scale, the more money they get per person on it, which helps with the profitability, obviously. His second question was, are bigger companies better than smaller companies? And what I would say is not always. Here in Tennessee, we have a smaller company or a more regional company that is excellent. I don't know if I could say the name, but you can call me and ask me or shoot me a text and ask me if you really wonder. It's not a nationwide plan, but it's excellent here. And here's what I'd also say about any Medicare Advantage plan, because people worry about stuff or they think way too far in advance. When it comes to Advantage plans, those are really year-by-year contracts. You don't, when you sign up 1 year, you don't expect it to stay the same, 3, 4, 5 years later. The reason is you can change Medicare Advantage plans every year. So if the 1 year on becomes worse or uncompetitive, you're not stuck. Every October 15th to December 7th, you can change. So don't try not to get hung up and think that the plan, if you're on an Advantage plan, try not to think that you're married to it, because you're not. And I'll tell you this just off the cuff. These companies aren't married to you. So why would you be married to them? Loyalty is a two-way street.
Good point.
So anyway, if your plan's good this year and then next year it becomes crappy, well, you can change it. Someone's going to want your business. So, and the other thing to keep in mind is when somebody's your agent, you want an agent who's going to call you and say, look, Mr. or Mrs. Smith, your plan this year, it's going to hell in a handbasket. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. It's going to seed. There's better options for you. And that's the kind of thing I do. So if there's always a better option, they'll hear it from me first. So that's another thing a good agent will do.
Randy, is it? So you know who I'm with. I noticed that my eye care costs went up. 2 years ago, I got glasses. There was no out-of-pocket money. This year, it's $130. Is that a red flag with the company?
Not necessarily. There's one company I'm thinking of where 2 years ago, their plan may have been one of the best ones in the market. I had a ton of people on it. Well, a year ago, that plan, they've raised their copays from specialists to say from like $20 to like $50. Going to the hospital went from like $300 to $400. And when you see stuff like that, that's a red flag. Extra stuff like dental and vision, that's not necessarily a red flag. But if it's coupled with other things that I just told you, because what happens is all of these plans, if you really break them down like a scientist would, like look at them elementally, you'll be like, oh, well, this one's like $5 cheaper here, but this one's $10 cheaper there. And this one's got $1,500 of dental, and this one's got $2,000. If it's extra benefits and they're all like, you average it out and they're real close, most of the time, these plans are not that dissimilar. But say you knew you needed eyeglasses, right, Steve? And there's two plans that are real close to each other. Your doctors take them both. Well, if one of them is going to give you 300 for glasses and one of them is going to give you 130, you might be like, oh, well, I'll try that $300 plan because you know you're going to use that benefit, or you're planning on using that benefit. So that's how I would, something that insignificant by itself, I wouldn't take as a red flag.
We got another Nashville listener. I have been watching for the last 6 months. I am going to be due for Medicare in the next 5 months. I will be contacting you. Here's my complaint about Medicare. People in my age group toss a lot of junk mail out. So we are not aware that maybe the company we're with is pulled out of the market. I like what you say about your customer service. I think that is so important to have someone to contact you and let you know.
Absolutely. So, well, I look forward to hearing from you when that time comes.
You get people complaining about these big companies that this demographic, Randy, tosses a lot of junk mail out.
Well, they
without
get a lot
even
of
reading
junk
it.
mail. It's absurd. Yeah. Like when you turn 65, you could have a bonfire in your backyard.
Well, you brought up customer service. I think it's so important, the customer service you offer, because again, we're dealing with an older demographic. Sometimes we're a little bit slower, but I guess it's so important to your company, yourself, how important notifying your clients of what's going on. I love that about your company.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that if you're a customer, I go by the golden rule. I want to treat them the way I would want to be treated if I was in their shoes. So I don't put pressure on people. Number one, I hate high pressure people. I don't respond to it. If somebody pressures me, that's an immediate red flag to me. That why are you? If it's so great, why are you pressuring me? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I always try to educate first, and then a lot of times after I educate them, they kind of know what they want to do, and I never steer them. You know what I mean? Now I have people flat out ask me what they should get, and I always tell them, I'm like, look, it's your insurance. I want you to understand that this is your insurance, but I also don't want you to think I'm dodging your question. And then I explained to them why I would do what why I made my choice. So I would never pressure you or I guess steamroll you into a choice, if that makes sense.
Yes. You know what? I got to tell you, we're talking about Medicare Advantage, and I had a lot of friends of mine try to talk me out of it. The main reason they said is I would not be able to choose my doctors. I had to go with the doctors in the plan. But I got to tell you, Randy, the doctors that I have gone to, specialists, have been excellent.
Yeah. Well, so here in Tennessee, I live in the Nashville area, and we've got 3 major hospitals networks or systems. So depending on who you go to, you're going to have great choices here. And you live in Florida, where it's tons of seniors. So you're going to have great options there. Now, if you live in a more rural area, you might not have very good options. But you know what?
That's true.
A good agent's going to point out to you what your options are, no matter what, whether they're great, whether they're terrible, or anything in between. What I do is I explain to you what is there and what it costs. If there's a cost to it, I explain what that is. And I'm very transparent. You probably get that. I don't hide stuff from people. I don't omit things and hope they don't find out later. That's the kind of thing that will keep me up at night. If I mislead somebody.
Randy, we're down to about 30 seconds. Tell people how they can reach you.
Always the best way, call 615-578-5174. Email, I know it's old school, but randywhall@yahoo.com is the best email. I do have if you go through my website, Mr. Nice Guy Medicare Advisor, I have a different email. But if you want to make sure it gets to me, use the one I've had since college, the Yahoo one. So always a pleasure, Steve.
We're so blessed to have you. Hey, we'll see you next month. And we are going to be replaying this show throughout this month. So stand by for promotion. Thanks again, Randy.
Thanks so much, Steve.
That's Randy Hall. Folks, if you're getting into Medicare, you're in the Tennessee area, give Randy a call. That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back in with you next week with more Ask the Experts.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Experts show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.